Thanks for joining us right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. September 1st, 2021. Lots of things happening in the news. Of course, you've got the debacle of the Afghanistan withdrawal, but you got a lot of things happening right here in the state of Texas. Last night, a lot of things became law. Open constitutional carry came into effect, plus the heartbeat bill. We'll talk about those two things here in just a second, but I want to bring in our education expert, Julie Pickren, joining us from the great state of Texas. Hey, it looks like you guys have done an amazing job there in Austin of keeping the CRT out of our schools. Let's talk about that.
We have, Ryan. Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate you and the viewers at RSBN. And we are just doing incredible things in the state of Texas concerning education. So, in our regular session, we passed HB 3979, which banned critical race theory from our civics and our social studies classes, right? Because, we have to make sure that every child has equal opportunity in education. And we all know that critical race theory is all about equal outcome. It's socialism and education. And that's just not what Texas is about. And that's not what America is about. So we passed the 3979. Our legislators did a great job. It banned critical race theory in, like I said, in our civics classes, but we realized it just wasn't enough. So we came back. Our governor did, Governor Greg Abbott. Boy, he is really at the forefront right now of leading this with banning critical race theory. He put it on the special call for our special sessions, because we realize that really we need to ban critical race theory in all areas of education. So right now, what we are working on is Senate Bill 3. And Senate Bill 3, what it does is it blocks critical race theory from math, from English, from science, from social studies. It's really just a huge expansion of 3979, but then also while preserving the history of learning about, our great history that, Booker T. Washington, Martin Luther King Jr., Susan B. Anthony, Ida B. Wells. While preserving our great rich history, you can still teach history in a wonderful American patriotic way, but also banning critical race theory at the same time. So we're not compromising our history. We're just preserving it, that it is taught from the idea that America is exceptional and Texas is exceptional. So
Julie, we've seen these school board meetings across the country, these heated debates. Parents don't want this. I just would like to know who wants this in our schools. Of course, the media preaches it all day long, but where are the supporters online? Where do you see them on social media? I'm just not sure who's really driving this train of putting CRT in our classrooms.
Yes, that's very interesting. I've now sat through hours of testimony concerning critical race theory, and there's a group of people in America and in Texas that really want to rewrite our history. They do not believe in the exceptionalism of America. They don't believe in what we're about. Really it's socialism at its core. So, that's their ideologue, that's their tendencies. But on SB3, it's been really great. We've seen a lot of great traction. Like I said, it came out of committee. It'll go to a vote in our Texas House. It's already passed our Texas Senate. And so we're really hoping to get that passed so that we can ban critical race theory from all areas of education. And I'll tell you what's suffering the most right now from critical race theory is our advanced mathematics programs in the state. So already you think Texas is safe, right? I mean, everybody looks to Texas to lead that, the people don't think we have it, but we have it. So, last week we had a school district in Texas that canceled their advanced mathematics in elementary because they couldn't make the numbers come out equal. It's a school district that's already adopted critical race theory, and so they couldn't make the equal outcome. They couldn't make it happen. So they just said, we're going to do away with advanced mathematics in elementary. So then we all know what happens is as those kids age up, as they mature up, then that's going to affect advanced math in junior high and in high school. So really it's putting an end to their advanced mathematics in their district.
Okay. And of course, I met you at CPAC a few months ago. This is right in your wheelhouse. You're down there in the Houston area. You're really involved in what ends up being in our schools across the entire state of Texas. Let's talk about your role there.
Yeah, so I've been a school board trustee in the state of Texas for the last 6 years. I just finished out serving as a trustee, and now I'm running for Texas State Board of Education, because Texas has a overarching school board. It's called the State Board of Education, and they determine curriculum for the whole state of Texas. Now, while that is important, if you're in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, California, is because Texas has the most amount of school-age children in the country. We have 5.5 million K through 12th grade students. And so whatever textbooks we pick, that is what's printed for the whole state, for the whole country. Whatever textbooks our State Board of Education chooses, that's what's printed for the whole nation, because they're not going to print one set of books for us and one set of books for the rest of the country. So if we ban critical race theory in Texas, then it will not be allowed in our textbooks. Therefore, it won't be in your textbooks, right? In Ohio or in Nevada or, wherever you happen to live.
Yeah, I was going to put out a hashtag earlier on Twitter allowing Texas we're going to Texas your California. We're going to Texas your New York, because you need some of the things that's going down here in the state of Texas. Okay, let's shift real quickly to constitutional carry. Of course, a few states already have that. Now we've added that here in the state of Texas. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, in Texas, we've already had a program where, a license to carry program, right, where you could go and do your training and what have you, and then you could have a license to conceal carry. So today we are going to constitutional carry. September 1st is when our legislation that passed in the regular session, it goes live or goes active today, September 1st. So this is the day we see all our laws activate. So constitutional carry is one of those laws. I am pro Second Amendment, as a female. To me, it's the great equalizer, right? If somebody is stronger than me that wants to do harm for me, I do believe in Second Amendment rights for, are critical for women. So that's my personal viewpoint on that. But yes, today we have open carry or concealed carry without a permit in Texas.
And of course, lastly, let's move on to the heartbeat bill. I know you've got an expert that wants to weigh in on that, because I woke up this morning with many on the left wing media absolutely losing their minds over this, saying that Texas, in a way, has basically banned abortion in the state of Texas. And I want to get your thoughts on this and let everybody know who you are and what you do.
Well, it's great to be with you. Jonathan Sines. I'm president of a statewide organization called Texas Values. We are the largest faith, family, and freedom organization in the state of Texas. We've got supporters in all 254 counties of the state. And I'm also a licensed attorney. I've been involved in this area of law and policy going back to when I was a student at the University of Houston, leading a pro-life group. And I sued my university for the free speech rights of our pro-life group. And look, it's not an exaggeration to say that this is a very important day for the state of Texas and for the issue of life, right? As we stay in Texas, it ain't bragging if it's true. President Biden just put a statement out on Senate Bill 8. This is the Texas heartbeat law. Today, it went into effect of September 1. And it's significant because a lot of pro-life laws never go into effect before getting challenged in court and being struck down. And then maybe eventually years later, the law goes into effect. Not the case here. And it's also significant because other states have passed heartbeat laws. Those have never gone into effect because they've been struck down by the courts. The Texas heartbeat law has a different approach. Now, the concept is simple. If a baby's heartbeat is detected, that life is protected. And that's it. But we have a different mechanism we use in this Texas version. It allows private citizens to go into court and to hold abortion doctors accountable if they perform abortion on a baby when there's been a detectable heartbeat. That means you can't challenge this law constitutionally because the government is not involved in enforcing it and going into law to protect it. But it also gives everyone a role in the state of Texas that cares about humanity to say, this isn't right. And I will go to court wherever I have to defend these issues and to hold an abortion doctor accountable. It also means we don't have to worry about district attorneys in parts of the state that want nothing to do with enforcing laws like this. We know that happens on other issues as well. But we've got a lot of great information on this, TexasHeartbeatLaw.com. Our team was at the Capitol every day during the session. This was a top priority for Texas Values and a lot of other pro-lifers. And today, it's all come together.
I think it's a well-crafted bill. And to be honest with you, I think many of the pro-abortion people don't know what to do with themselves right now. It's so crafted in a way that I think the Planned Parenthoods of the world don't really know how to approach this, because you're telling me, as a citizen of the great state of Texas, I can file a lawsuit against a doctor or an organization that performs an abortion after 6 weeks or when the heartbeat is detected. Is that true?
No, that's absolutely right. And, it's empowering for a lot of people, because they sometimes feel like, well, what can I do? Or they feel like the district attorney in the area where they live, they won't enforce these type of laws. We've had pro-life laws that have been passed before, and people say, well, no one, the people in my area don't want to enforce it. So it almost feels like there's no value. And so it is an interesting concept. It's been tested before in the state of Louisiana, not with a heartbeat law, but another type of pro-life law where they use this mechanism. And that was upheld at the Federal Court of Appeals at the Fifth Circuit. So we know we have precedent there, but we also know that, yes, the other side is trying to figure out what to do. In my opinion, a lot of what they filed is a lot of baseless arguments, really to just confuse people and tie things up in court. They haven't been successful so far. Now, I want to say this. There is a state court ruling out of Austin, no surprise there, but it's very limited. It does not change the Texas heartbeat law going into effect. It simply is a temporary ruling that lawyers that are a part of working with a young woman who doesn't want an abortion, you can't sue them. My understanding is that's not who anyone is trying to hold accountable. It's about the abortion doctor. So it's really, a legal argument and case that doesn't really have any impact on what the Texas heartbeat law is doing. And so the Supreme Court could rule any moment. They do have a pending request before them, but they haven't at this time. So the Texas heartbeat law is in full effect. And again, we've got a website set up with more details, texasheartbeatlaw.com.
That's a great website. I encourage all of our viewers right now to go to that website and get all the information, because I also tell you guys, the war is also fought online. It really is on our social media. We've got to get the facts out here and really put fact checkers on a lot of misinformation that's put up from the left. So I encourage everybody to go to that website. Before I let you go, Julie, what's the best website for someone to go, best resource for a parent? We're here in Texas. We've got kids in schools. We want to know what they're learning. We also want to learn about what we can do if they're told to mask up or whatever that debate is. What's the best resource for that?
Well, actually, if anybody wants to go to my website, www.juliepickren.com, JULIEPICKREN, juliepickren.com, there's a place where you can send me those messages. Email me. I've been meeting with teachers around the state of Texas. Our teachers don't want to teach critical race theory. We have seen a massive teacher walkout this summer because of liberal school boards mandating that the teachers take critical race theory into their classrooms, and they don't want to do it. We know we had a ISD in West Texas, 150 teachers walked out this summer over critical race theory. So go to www.juliepickren.com, email me, contact me, especially if you're in the great state of Texas. I'll do anything I can to help you and get you connected to the right people. But I just want to say, God bless you, Brian. Thank you for what you're doing, and God bless Texas.
Thank you. I couldn't end this interview any better than that. Thank you for what you're doing, and let's keep praying for this great Texas and how we can spread the message across the states. Thank you so much. All right, that does it this time. We'll have another special edition, whatever happening in the news, because we want to stay on top of everything. Until then, go to rsbnetwork.com. That's rsbnetwork.com for more information on that. Plus, you can download our app right there on your Apple or Android phone. It's absolutely free. You can take this show wherever you go. Until next time, goodbye. God bless everybody. We'll see you.